Joining me now from Ithaca, New York is Nick Wilson. He's a student and organizer at Cornell University. Nick, thanks for being on the program with us. What is the mood on campus at Cornell, and have the protests been mostly peaceful where you are?
Good afternoon. The protests have been extremely peaceful. I think it's a really loving community out here. It's a group of students that have come together and said that we're against our university's investments in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And we've come together to learn from one another, create art with one another, and I think build a community on campus that has been completely nonviolent so far. The only violence taken place has been police attempts to break up.
Well, that was going to be my next question. First of all, what's been Cornell's response to these protests?
Cornell administration originally approached us and asked us to move our encampment to a place on campus much further away from where we are right now. We're currently on the Arts Quad, which is the most populated part of campus, which is why we chose the location. They wanted to sort of put us off in a corner. After that, they jumped pretty significantly ahead and began threatening to arrest and suspend student protesters. They did that twice yesterday. Students were able to defend the encampment because 300 community members encircled the camp and were able to successfully fend off any possibility of arrest. So far, no arrests or suspensions.
We've seen violent confrontations at a number of schools, including Ohio University. And I don't know if you've seen the video out of Emory University in Atlanta. And I know you can't see the screen, but things get really ugly really fast with one of the professors. She wants to know what's going on. Police basically push her down on the ground in a very aggressive manner and cuff her up, cuff her hands, don't let her move. I mean, it is very, very disturbing to watch this. How concerned are you that things are going to get ugly and out of control where you are at Cornell?
I've seen that footage from Emory, as well as the University of Texas, where state troopers were called in, Emerson College, where student protesters were assaulted by police. There's unfortunately a lot of that footage out there, so it's of course a concern for any student that wants to engage in this kind of protest. Cornell has said that they're not interested in the idea of making arrests or calling in higher authorities, but they have not committed not to do so. And the message has very much been that if we remain, it's a possibility that those things will come. I will say I've been absolutely blown away by sort of the strength and courage of my fellow students who have joined me at this protest, who have not let up at the threat of suspension, arrest, or police violence. And I think it speaks to the importance of this issue to students in the U.S., that they stick it through even when we're seeing videos like that on the day.
Nick, talk about concerns about anti-Semitism on campus. A lot of Jewish students have complained about being harassed. They're worried about their safety. Have you seen any instances of that where you are at Cornell?
I absolutely have not in pro-Palestine organizing spaces. Our organization has, from the very beginning, condemned anti-Semitism in all forms and is made up in large part by Jewish students affiliated with Jewish Voice for Peace. Those students have been in community with us, engaging completely, and I think the U.S. Jewish community certainly is not a monolith. There are many, many anti-Zionist Jews whose voices deserve to be heard, and I think on Cornell they've been able to do so safely and without any threat to Zionist students who feel differently.
And Nick, how long do you think you can keep these protests at Cornell going? By the way, I should also mention they are spreading. We have video from protests in Paris, France as well.
Yeah, it's quickly becoming a global movement, and I think it's coming out of a deep, genuine concern that students have for their university's roles in funding a genocide that's ongoing in Gaza. So I don't expect that the movement will stop anytime soon. The students that I talked to down here, myself included, I think believe in this cause very deeply and resent their university's role in the genocide. So I think it would take forceful removal to leave without our demands being met.
All right, a very articulate Nick Wilson from Cornell University. I hope you come back and talk to us at another point with an update.
Thank you very much.